The national mood on the pandemic and the recovery are going to be tested this Saturday in the South Australian state election. There's plenty of other issues, of course, many peculiar to the state, but the pandemic recovery angle is the one that politicians are going to be watching all around this country. So far, 2 state elections have been held during the pandemic. In Queensland and Western Australia, incumbent pandemic paranoid Labor governments won emphatic re-elections while their states were virtually virus-free. In South Australia, the Liberal Premier Stephen Marshall has been almost as paranoid, throwing up hard borders, locking down the state sometimes on the back of only a handful of cases. Like most other premiers, Marshall pushed his chief health officer to the fore and also the police commissioner, who was technically in charge in that state, as all the rules and restrictions were put in place. For a while, all this was wildly popular, and Marshall even bathed in the glory of his rather nutty chief health officer.
If you are at Adelaide Oval and the ball comes towards you, my advice to you is to duck and just do not touch that ball.
Do not touch that ball, hey? But the political game seems to have gotten away from Stephen Marshall. Now the state is dealing with the virus, as it always had to. So the political reaction is different to those earlier elections. The paranoid people are now angry that he opened the borders up and let the virus in. Despite vaccines, some people seem to want to hide forever. Still, there are others, of course, especially small business people, who have been infuriated by the delays and the restrictions. Marshall had hoped to pick the middle road and be rewarded, but in minority government already, with defectors from his own party and no margin to protect, the polls have turned against him.
It's not about winning or losing a debate, it's about winning or losing the election. The people of South Australia have got a very important decision to make on March 19. They can continue with the strongest economy in the country or go back to blind old Labor.
Now, Marshall's opponent, Labor leader Peter Malinauskas, has played a smart, small target strategy, supporting the COVID response but nitpicking at the fringes, promising to spend more on health instead of building a new entertainment centre.
And we have a chance at this election to choose Stephen Marshall's basketball stadium or choose a serious investment in our health system.
Look, the state of South Australia is going well. Marshall has attracted new industries. Adelaide is vibrant again. But the Premier also made an unfathomable decision to scrap the city's annual V8 supercar race held on city streets. That's angered swinging voters in key marginal seats. And Labor, wouldn't you know it, has promised to bring the race back immediately. Strange enough, along with the pandemic, healthcare and the economy, the Petrol head vote could prove crucial when the checkered flag comes down at 6 o'clock on Saturday night.